What's up, everybody? I'm John.
I'm Isaac.
And we are Cars and Cameras, and we think we're going drifting today, but oh no, we're still dealing with carburetor problems. But before we finish up the jetting and tear into this front end, today's video is sponsored by the Ridge. The Ridge is a minimalist front pocket wallet designed to streamline and simplify your everyday carry. Ridge wallets are sleek and durable, available in carbon fiber, titanium, and aluminum finishes bound together by a durable elastic band. And with over a dozen different styles and colors to choose from, the Ridge offers something for everyone. So whether you're looking for a new, slim wallet for everyday use or you're a traveler looking to upgrade your gear, the Ridge has you covered. Get 10% off today with free worldwide shipping by going to ridgewallet.com/cars10. That's ridgewallet.com/cars10 and enter code CARS10 at checkout.
Dude, you know what'd be interesting?
What's that?
If we just check fuel flow.
Oh, yeah, let's do it. In case we didn't cover it last time, we did drill a vent hole in this fuel tank. Interesting. It's really not that much.
All right, let's check the flow without the filter.
Ooh,
All right,
that's the filter.
That's plenty of flow there. So while we're out for lunch, we should look into a filter.
Yes. A poorly flowing fuel filter could be part of our problem here, but it's not the whole problem. We don't think. We think we still have jetting issues because in theory, if we've been idling and we give it 100% throttle, it should be fine until the bowls run out of fuel. That's not the case. It's at any point when we go above 3/4 throttle, it breaks up. So we think two issues: fuel flow from the fuel filter and jetting.
Got some garbage in them. This is the emulsion tube, is we're gonna drill that out. I'm not too sure about it. Have I told you how much of a bad idea I think this is?
Yeah, you have. There it is again anyway.
Yeah. Alright, dude, I'm gonna call it. I got her where she's just wanting to kind of hook in there. It's not that much bigger, but it is bigger.
Excellent.
And I'd rather go just a little bit of a step than a huge step.
Totally.
So we can always go to the 1/8 after this.
Yes.
Oh yeah, they're clogged up from the drilling.
All 4 emulsion tubes have been drilled and cleaned out. Back to the shop. We're back home. Let's get these carburetors back together and fire it up.
Alright, dude. We've drilled out the emulsion tubes. I drilled out the jets on the idle circuit to try to get a little bit more rich. And I checked all the flaps, the butterflies on the carburetors, and set them all even. I even went to the trouble of loosening up the 2 tightening screws with the idle all the way unscrewed and let the flaps center themselves in the hole in the throat of the carburetor and then retighten them. So hopefully we'll have better idle issues. It's acting like there's a vacuum leak, but it seems like it's on all of the carburetors, not just one. So I don't think it's a split boot. I think there's an issue with the carburetors being synced up, which I've done that, but I couldn't get them all exactly the way I wanted. I'm wondering if there's a problem with the carburetors themselves, because I couldn't get all the butterflies completely shut. We just need to know if it's better.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not
That's all.
totally sure if it's going to be better or not, but we're going to figure it out.
Here we go. Remember, it was running bad. It had to warm up.
Crap.
We made it worse.
We made it worse.
Okay.
I mean,
well, it's a good thing we have.
spare jets
Yeah.
and emulsion tubes.
Yep.
Part of it.
We'll give it a shot. I'll give it a shot.
That obviously didn't work. So we're going to take the carburetors back off, our intake pod back off, take the jets out, and put the bone stock jets, emulsion tubes, and idle jets in the carburetors, put it back on with our pod, and try that.
We were doing all the tuning for the AirPods, the 4K and N AirPods. And all our research says that you can't really do it. You have to have an airbox. So we built the airbox, and we're still having problems. Well, those problems could be because we drilled out the jets and all that stuff and then put the AirPod on, our homemade airbox. So we're gonna just take it back to square one, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll be fine.
Factory jets are in, our DIY pod is on. Let's give it another shot. Fine as long as you're like half throttle or below.
Okay. You look like you were cooking on that last one.
Yeah. I was just fine tuning the foot position, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
You reckon we should adjust the air box?
Cut it down a little bit?
Cut it down a little bit, or I don't. Is it better or worse than?
Than its all-time best.
Yes.
Worse, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit.
So it worked best with the
big
stock,
jets, regular emulsion tubes.
Regular emulsion tubes, big jets.
This pod.
That
well, actually,
pod.
big pod.
Well, we got a lot of work ahead of us, and it's upsetting me.
Yeah. It's not getting any better, man.
No.
A lot of you are probably wondering why we're building an intake manifold out of PVC pipe. Well, it's going to take a lot less time than building one out of metal, especially because we're going to be testing out two different manifolds. A single manifold, or a single carburetor 4-into-1, and then a dual carburetor setup 2-into-1. So we're going to be using the 34mm Mikuni from GoPowersports.com. This is a popular carburetor to hop up your 420 Predator or even your 670 Predator. They move a decent amount of air. Enough for a 750? Probably not all by itself, but we're going to try anyway. We've seen online that a few different companies actually sell a dual 34mm Mikuni setup for the CB750, the dual overhead cam model. So we think that the dual carburetor setup is going to be better for us, but I mean, like, we're right here. Might as well try a single setup. We were both just saying about how excited we were to test this with PVC pipe.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's in our DNA or something, but like...
It's like the stupidest thing to do, but...
coming up with an idea and like going to the store and making it happen, like, and the fact that there's actually a glimmer of hope that it might work is very exciting to me.
It's a science experiment.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, the fuel probably isn't going to like the PVC.
Yes.
We're going to find out. I mean, wouldn't you want to find out?
Yes.
We're going to find out for you.
All right, so we know the corners are sharp, but they're actually decently smooth. And of course, if this works, we are going to build one out of steel. It's going to be smoother and better flowing. This is just...
Not smoother on the inside.
Right, but smoother curves. How about that?
There's nothing wrong with these curves.
You don't think so?
45 degree would be better, but here's my thoughts. You know, if we come way out here with the carburetor, you got all that weight hanging off of the engine. You're going to have to support it. If you keep her up tight, close to the engine, you don't have to build any extra brackets to hold the intake up. So, kind of like the
tucked in
sure version, but you know, it's whatever. Done it. We do realize we're using the wrong glue. It's late at night. Everyone's closed. We want to hear this thing run tonight.
So it's not perfect.
It's too lean. It's too small.
Yeah. So does this mean...
I think it'll run great with the choke on.
Okay. So we're going to take it out for a ride with the choke on tomorrow.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
It really sounds good.
Yeah, that's insane. It hasn't idled this whole time, and then immediately we go to the store and buy $12 worth of PVC pipe, and it idles.
Someone had been in those carburetors way before we ever got into them. So there's no telling what's going on with those carburetors. So I'm really digging the idea of a single carb setup, or maybe
a dual.
Dual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe we can take a minute to play around with the jetting in this tomorrow, see if we can get it to run okay. But if not, dual carbs, bro.
Sounds good.
So there's our dual 34mm Mikuni setup. We think it's going to be on the rich side, but darn it, it should flow better than the single, and we're not going to have the vacuum problem as the other carburetors. And if this doesn't work, we think we have other problems like ignition or some other engine problem, because we have tried countless different, not only carburetor setups, but then air cleaner setups and restriction and no restriction and all kinds of stuff. We could have bigger things going on.
Here we go.
Yeah.
On it and take her for a rip.
It doesn't sound awful, and it sounds like it's idling, so I mean, in a weird way, that's victory. Dude, it's
got two cams.
It's idling.
It's idling, and as long as you don't get on it too hard, it does pretty good.
It sounds like this could be the best it's ever run.
Yeah, I think so.
So at this point, we have a few options. It's running better than it ever has, which is great, but it's still not perfect. 3/4 throttle is kind of all we have, and then it breaks up. And this seems like this is a 9,500 RPM engine, so like, and we're only at like, what, 6 or 7 or something like that?
Yeah.
So there's a ton left in it, but we just can't seem to figure it out with this setup.
And it could be other issues other than the carburetors. These are probably the original coils. The ignition modules are probably original. It's acting just like maybe the ignition is breaking up at high RPMs. Could be carburetors. We don't know, but everything we've done with the playing around with the original carburetors on it, same problem. Doing the first intake, well, I think the carburetor was a little small for the 4 cylinders, but this twin carburetor setup is working out pretty good. It's the best it's run, but it's just not good enough. It's really not. It's pretty frustrating. We were hoping that we were going to get better than this, but
so we really just have some pretty big decisions to make. We can go price out coils and ignition modules. We may even just put a new fuel-injected or well-running engine on it.
So I know that the PVC intake is not ideal. It's got smooth intake runners, which is not what you want. You want roughness. We could have sanded it, I suppose, but this was supposed to be temporary use only. So this is not permanent, but it should be, because it's insulated. We have insulated the carburetors from the engine, which means we got cooler air and fuel going in. More performance.
Makes sense to me, dude.
You would hope so, but it's not.
I think it looks cool. Like the dual carb setup looks pretty sweet.
It was a fantastic experiment that works, but it may not work well.
Yeah.
But I'm glad we tried it out.
Yeah. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video today, guys. Subscribe to Cars and Cameras for future updates. Facebook, Instagram, at Cars and Cameras Reviews for updates in between videos. And, of course, we got to thank our sponsor, GoPowersports.com, for all kinds of parts on this project. Don't forget to enter their monthly in-store credit giveaway when you place your next order and let them know that we sent you. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.